Hello and hi, welcome to Money Moves, and I'm Mabuza. Today is a bonus episode of Money Moves where we make your money move for you. Now, fortunately, I'm not alone today. I have a very, very special guest, a friend of mine, Sandy Gordon.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Alvin.
So, Sandy, I want to talk to you about retirement. Are you saving at all for your retirement?
I am, as much as I can.
As much as you can. Yeah.
But since you asked that question, now I want to know, what is this about the two-pot system? Can you what is going on there?
Yeah, so you want to know more about the two-pot system and how it's going to affect you?
Yes.
Okay, fortunately for you, I have two great friends in the studio who know everything you need to know about the two-pot system. So, over to you.
Hi and welcome to the Money Moves studio, where we aim to educate, inform and entertain. Viewers, before we dive in, I just want to, from myself and Paul and Mabuza, thank you guys so much for staying dedicated and watching our content. We have had an amazing few episodes and a lot more coming. Please like and subscribe. It really does go a long way. So Paul, our previous episode about life insurance was our best episode to date. So please go have a look at it. It's somewhere here. And there's also a link in the description below where you can fill in your details and get some custom information and advice from Paul and myself. Paul, let's dive into Mabuza's question. The two-pot system that kicked in on the 1st of September. Give me the lowdown.
Good morning, Ingrid. Reporting from the beautiful Cape Town this morning. What are we drinking? We're drinking coffee. No milk, no sugar, black as is, but hopefully the markets are green today. Ingrid, I recently visited the Kruger. Look at the school cup. Isn't that the best? It's so tepid, but I couldn't resist. I just had to have it. I love it. So don't judge me, but this is my favorite cup now. Anyway, getting to the two-pot system. So what is a two-pot system? In a nutshell, before 1 September 2024, all your contributions made to your retirement annuity was non-withdrawable. In other words, it's your nest egg, jou nes eiertjie soos ons sê in Afrikaans. This is for your old day. So you can go overseas and eat some McDonald's and treat your grandchildren. But from the 1st of September, all your new contributions made to your retirement annuity will now actually be split into two pots. The first pot, 2/3 will go to the original pot, your retirement annuity pot. Old game, old rules, can't withdraw the money. But 1/3 of all new contributions will actually go into what we call a savings pot. And from this pot, you can actually withdraw once every year. So that in a nutshell is the change.
Okay, so we have our retirement annuity and now we've got our old school, old rules base retirement annuity and our savings pot. But I believe I'm not the only one that has heard the little birdie in the trees whistle about a boosting towards the savings pot. Can you please tell us more about that and how much would our savings pot get boosted with?
Yes, all the new contributions will be split into the retirement pot and the savings pot. But the savings pot does start with a little bit of a little bit of a boost from your old retirement. Your old retirement pot, they take 10% of that money before 1 September, and they actually transfer to your savings pot as a starter up to a maximum of 30,000 Rand. So viewers, if you had, let's say, 150,000 Rand in your retirement annuity before 1 September, 15,000 Rand of that 150, which is 10%, will be transferred to your new savings pot as a start. So then 135 will remain in your old pot and 15 will be the base of your savings pot. But it's a maximum to 30,000 Rand, right? So let's say you had 400,000 Rand in there. They can't transfer 40,000 Rand because that's more than 30. So you'll be limited to 30,000 Rand. So in your case, if you had 400,000 Rand, 370 will remain in the retirement pot and 30,000 Rand will serve as the base of your savings pot from the 1st of September.
Okay, and then this boost is now lying in our savings pot, the 10% of your total retirement annuity amount. If I want to withdraw that, because that's essentially what the two-pot system is about, is the savings pot which you can withdraw, but there ought to be rules and regulations surrounding this, because otherwise it's quite dangerous, isn't it?
Exactly. So let's split the two pots once again. You have your retirement pot. That's old rules. Can't withdraw the money. Nest egg. From 55 onwards, you can utilize the money. The savings pot you can withdraw from once every tax year. The minimum withdrawal is 2,000 Rand. The maximum withdrawal is there is no maximum. So in other words, you can empty the pot once every year, or after 5 odd years, if you've built up enough money in your savings pot, you can empty the whole thing.
With every novelty, there has to be a bit of a pro and a con. And the con in this case is the costs. So you've now said that we can withdraw the money, but are there any costs linked to this?
Of course, Ingrid, of course. They won't give you such a nice little thingy that you can utilize without gaining something from it. So let's talk about the obvious one and then the not obvious one. So the obvious one is that you're going to pay tax on your withdrawal. What tax are you going to pay? You're going to pay actually your marginal income tax rate, like your pay as you earn tax rate on your salary, which is significant. It is seen as an income. Like if you withdraw from your savings pot, that's seen as an income. So in other words, almost like a bonus from your work or an extra salary. So it can even push you to a new tax bracket, to a higher tax bracket if you withdraw a big enough amount. So bad idea. If you're a high income earner, like 50,000 and up, you're going to pay like 33, 35%. If you're a middle to lower income earner, you're going to pay like 20, 25% of the withdrawal, which is still a significant amount of money. So if you withdraw, let's say 30,000 Rand, you're probably going to get like 20 in your pocket, and 10 will go to SARS because that's the tax portion. So just off the bat, it's a bad idea because that's a lot of money to pay to SARS. But the second one, Ingrid, the second cost is, in my opinion, the one that no one talks about, but the more significant one, and that is the opportunity cost. Economics, we call it the implicit or opportunity cost. In other words, what are you giving up by withdrawing this money? So you get the 30,000 Rand now, or the 20 after tax, but down the line, remember that money would have been invested in the market and grown by 10% year on year on year up until retirement. But now you withdrew that money, so it doesn't grow. And eventually at retirement, what is the price you will pay? Now listen to this, Ingrid. If you withdraw about 30,000 Rand today, and you're middle-aged, 30, 35 years old like me, and you get to retirement at 60, 65 years old, so in other words, about 30 years in the future, that 30,000 Rand that you withdrew today would have been worth about 500,000 Rand in 30 years. Get 30 now, or actually 20 after tax, pay 500,000 essentially in opportunity cost down the road when you actually need the money, because this was for your retirement. That's why you contributed to a retirement annuity, was for retirement. And that, I don't think people actually understand that cost and the implication it will have on your retirement planning. So the cost, in my opinion, is not worth it at all.
So what we're actually comparing is 20,000 Rand in the current circumstances versus 500,000 Rand when you retire. And I believe that retirement is obviously more important. But before we move on, I quickly want to pause with regards to the tax. So would I, as an individual, be responsible to note that I've withdrawn the money and then let SARS know, hey, I need to pay tax on that? Or who would be responsible for liaising that with SARS?
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually phoned Alan Gray yesterday because I wasn't sure of the answer. I thought about it. Wait, am I responsible, or do they actually hold back the money, which I don't think will be the case? And they confirmed that they actually hold back the money. So you won't even get if you withdraw 30, and then it's up to you to declare the withdrawal and pay the tax over to SARS. And some people won't obviously declare it. No. They actually hold back. They check in with SARS. What is your tax rate at the moment? And based on that, they hold back the tax portion of the money. So you will get 24 or 20 or 16,000 Rand, whatever, after tax in your pocket. So that makes it even worse.
Okay, great. So we are paying tax on the money that we withdraw, and it is directly implicating our long-term savings, retirement annuity total. So all in all, this does not sound like a very clever move to make, but are there circumstances under which you would actually allow this?
There are very few circumstances which I believe it would be a good idea to withdraw. Two of them is, firstly, if you have excessive, expensive debt. For example, you have a personal loan costing you 25% interest a year. Squash the debt and don't make the same mistake again. And the second one is if you are genuinely in financial turmoil and it is an emergency, in which case you should have had an emergency fund or car insurance or income protector. There are tools to protect you in case of an emergency, because in my experience, there's always an emergency somewhere along the line, which could have been avoided with proper planning. So all in all, 99% of the time, it's a bad idea. Unfortunately, people are going to withdraw in leaps and bounds. I think people will withdraw the money for reasons that is not warranted, and that's gonna be a disaster down the line. Why did SARS do this? Like, why do we have this new system now? Firstly, because they want to make more money. For everyone that withdraws, they make the tax portion on that, everyone's average pay-as-you-earn rate. And secondly, they want to give people flexibility. They want to give flexibility with money that was meant for the long term, but now you do have the option to withdraw should you need the money. But once again, I believe that people will take the money for a reason that's not actually warranted.
So the two-pot system is a double-edged sword. And I think the information that you've given me now just highlights again how important it is to have an emergency fund in place, to be sure that you've got insurance, albeit medical aid, car insurance, income protector, and also just to have a good financial soundboard to check in with, hey, is this actually a good reason to withdraw the money? And viewers, if you do want to check in with us with regards to your financial planning, emergency fund, insurance, you name it, book a meeting in the link below, and then we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers!